G'day and welcome back to the channel. So in today's video, I want to show you two of the best stretches that I've ever seen to help improve your running performance, but also help decrease the risk of a lot of common running related injuries. And before we get to those stretches, let me know in the comments down below, what are your go-to pre-run stretches? What are the things that you do to give you confidence, or give you the best performance when you run? And I'm very interested to see if any of those relate to these two stretches, because if they don't, you'll hopefully be pleasantly surprised at what these two stretches will do for you. And the reason why these stretches are so good, the reason why they made the cut in this video, is that they work really, really well, but also they work really quickly. So you'll hopefully find that even after doing them while watching this video, or even doing them shortly afterwards, you should see an immediate change in your ability to perform. So these make for fantastic stretches to do before you go for a run, even throughout the week when you're preparing for a run, whenever that may be for you. These exercises will not disappoint you. If you do them correctly, they're fast acting, and the gains that they make are quite profound. So I hope that you get a lot out of this video. So the first exercise that we want to go through is the banded ankle stretch. Now, you may have seen this on the channel before. We've done both of these on the channel before, but the banded ankle stretch is an amazing stretch that quickly decreases the amount of ankle joint stiffness that you may have, which again can form the foundation of a lot of lower leg related injuries, whether it's Achilles issues, plantar fasciitis, arch dysfunction, shin splints, a lot of knee pain, a lot of lower leg discomfort like calf strains, calf tears, all those sorts of things. You can mount a case that there's a lot of ankle joint stiffness pulling the strings behind the scenes in that capacity. And by removing that ankle joint stiffness, and again, we're not just talking about muscular tightness, we're talking about the deeper joint stiffness that occurs when the capsule becomes stiff. That deeper joint stiffness can be one of the hidden causes of a lot of poor running performance and also injuries and the like, as we said. So all you need with this is a band of some sort. So you can use a power band like this. It's also called a jump stretch band or a monster band. You can use TheraBands, anything that you feel isn't going to move if it's fixed to something solid. And all we want to get you to do here is place the band into your ankle, or around your ankle, sorry, put your ankle into the band. What we want to get you to do is have that band above the ankle bone and stepping out as far as you feel comfortable, then placing your other foot in front of that. All we're going to do here is we want you to bring your hips past your ankle, then bend your ankle as far as you feel comfortable. We're looking for some pressure at the back of the ankle. You may find that some people get a little bit of tenderness at the front of the ankle. What that means is you're probably in a less than ideal position. So instead of going as far as you can and potentially letting your knee dump inwards to go around that stiffness, we want to make sure that your knee's rotated out as far as you feel comfortable with your big toe remaining on the ground. And then we're going to hold this position for 60 seconds, 2 minutes, however long you feel comfortable doing this, and then repeating that as much as you feel comfortable. And as simple as that exercise is, you should automatically feel like that ankle is a little bit lighter, a little bit decompressed, a little bit looser than it was previously. And you'll see some significant changes in your running and how easy that feels, even just after doing that for a minute or two. So that's exercise number one. Now, if you've been following the channel for a while now, you probably know what exercise 2 is going to be. It's going to be the couch stretch. Now, the couch stretch is, in my opinion, probably the best exercise out there at the moment. It was developed by Kelly Starrett of Mobility Board, now the Ready State. But the important thing about this stretch is that it undoes some crucial dysfunction that we accrue as modern day humans. So because we tend to sit a lot, the tissue at the front of those hips tends to become a little bit tight, and then when we're running, that can really impede our ability to run smoothly. It can link up to low back pain, a lot of hip dysfunction, a lot of knee dysfunction. And the other important thing about this is if your hip flexors or the muscles at the front of your hips are tight, instead of being able to translate your leg backwards comfortably when you run, we start to see that we don't have the mobility to let that leg come backwards, so it's much easier to rotate yourself around. You see a lot of people who walk and run with their feet turned out actually have a lot of tightness at the front of those hips. So doing a stretch like a couch stretch is a really fantastic way to undo a lot of that tightness. Now, as the name implies, this is best done on a seat or on a couch. It's much easier. But if you want to really punish yourself with this exercise, you can do this up against a tree, up against a post, up against a wall. It doesn't matter what it is, as long as you feel like it gives you benefit, that's fine. So what we want to do basically is we want to put the leg that you're stretching back up against the surface that you're on, so your knees right back into the corner, and have your other leg up into a high sort of lunging position. Now, if this is uncomfortable for your knee, please have something underneath, like a cushion or a pillow. What we want to do with this stretch is we want to make sure that keeping your back straight, we want you to arch up as far as you feel comfortable and open up the front of those hips. Now again, your back has to stay straight here. We don't want you to get to the point where you can't go any further and then cheat to arch yourself backwards. We need to make sure that all of the extension is happening at your hips, really biasing the front of that hip. Now again, this is a brutal stretch, so you might find you can only get a little bit up to begin with, have something to hold on to stabilize yourself. The point being is that in this position, we want to get you to squeeze everything, squeeze your butt cheek, squeeze the front of your thigh, push your foot back into the surface that you're on, tense that up for 5 to 10 seconds, because then when you relax, what you'll find is you can then actually go further than what you could before. So you want to keep repeating this as much as you can so you go back as far as you can until you feel like you're up in a nice tall position. So as I said, make sure that you do that on a chair. It's a lot easier introduction than doing it up against a tree, but it's one of the best exercises that you'll ever do. So let me know how you went with those exercises. Again, please do them before you run. You'll notice a huge difference in how your body feels just from those 2 exercises. And if you went on to enjoy the video, please consider leaving a like down below and subscribe to the channel if you're new. Let me know in the comments how you went, and then we'll see you next time.